Hello. Odyssey 2 version 45 was released on Friday, November 5th, and I will be going over the bullet points to show you the updates. First, bullet point, resources and templates now have the ability to inherit the cost from the parent template that they belong to. What this is referring to, if I go under my Print Shop's Resources tab and go into Media, um, just to show you, I do have a template here. And again, this is referring to inheriting the cost from the parent template. If I go to cost settings, you will see that this template is set up to be $25.50 per 1,000 sheets. Therefore, if I go to add a new media resource, and I would like to select that template I just showed you for it to belong to, and we'll just call this test version 45 for now for the media name. I do not have to add a description. I do not have to add tags. As you can see, this new media resource is inheriting the attributes from that template. If I go to next step, you will see right here, $25.50 per 1,000 sheets is the cost for this new media. I'm going to save resource, and then I'm going to go under templates. I'm going to go under this template here, and here the bottom is my new resource I just added, and you will see it inherited the template or the parent template cost of $25.50 per 1,000. The next bullet, any resources and templates added under the parent template will inherit the cost from the parent template by default. And so what that is referring to, if I go back to my list of media resources and I'm sorry, if I go back to add a new resource and I go to media and I click that 100-pound gloss template, and we'll just say version 45 test media, and we'll go next. This is the default toggle yes, meaning a user will automatically inherit the cost from the template with this default toggle set to yes. However, on the third bullet point, printers may decide if when creating a new resource that is to belong under a template, if they do not want the resource to inherit the cost from the parent template. So the same screen I was on, let's pretend and say in this case, I am still adding a resource under the parent template. I do not want to inherit the cost of $25.50 per 1,000 sheets. You will have the ability to toggle this to off. And let's say this particular resource maybe is $35 per 1,000. You are able to override basically enter in its own unique cost, so you're not needing to inherit the cost of the parent template. I'll go through and select save, and that will show you if I click on the templates tab and I go into my 100-pound gloss template, the media resource I just added under this template shows up on the bottom here, and there is that $35 per 1,000 sheets. And again, that is due to I toggled off the default, so I did not inherit the parent template cost, and I was able to override and enter in whatever cost that I would want for that media resource. Fourth bullet, the printer can now add in costs for a resource during the process of adding a new resource. This is for devices, for media, any resource that needs to be added. A user is now able to enter in the costs as they're setting it up, as opposed to selecting a different button or tab after the fact. I'm going to actually go into my resources and add a new device. Just kind of show you what that is referring to. Single resource, I don't have any templates for devices right now. And we'll just say this is an example cutter. I do not need a description. I do not need a tag. And we'll call the unit of measurement is cuts. And maybe the lift for this is 3 inches for this cutter. And here is the resource cost screen that the bull is referring to. So as I'm going through setting up this resource, or if it happened to be, let's say, a media resource, I am able to enter in the cost of this resource, if you would like, not required, as I'm setting up the resource. So just for kicks here, we'll call it $1 per one, or in other words, $1 per cut. And I will click Save Resource. And then that new resource that I added Oh, what did I call it? It was a cutter, and example cutter. Here it is, alphabetized. And again, if I was to select the cost settings tab here, I'm taken directly to that resource cost. There's that dollar per cut. And actually, what I just showed you, and I'll get into it a little bit here, the cost icon or the cost settings tab when selected will take a printer directly to the resource cost screen of the resource. So for devices, if I was to go back, actually, I'll go into the list of devices. Devices have a cost settings $ icon. So I'll click that. And for devices, then I'm taken to the resource cost screen. If I go back to media, um, there are the three dots to the right of media. And then if I click on the cost settings drop down here, again, the resource cost screen for this media pops up. And the last tab is also related to media. Printers will now have a cost log showing all changes made to the cost of media resources. Let's see if I can click the back tab here. We'll go into media. And for instance, 100-pound gloss text. If I click the three dots and select the cost log, you can see that starting December 2020 through today, I have gone in and adjusted the cost of this resource. And every single time a user is in here updating the cost, it's a nice little cost log here that will show you the date, what the cost has been updated to, and if the quantity happened to change, and the employee that was logged in that made the update. So all media resources have a cost log if needed. Many of mine, of course, do not have anything but the initial cost that was added. But for instance, I will show you an update to this 100-pound blazer satin cover by the Nice and Easy Quick Edit. We'll just update this to $80 and I'll select done. I get a prompt, yes, I'm sure. And then to the far right, three dots, cost log. There you go. There's my update with today's date from $70.85 to $80. That concludes today's Odyssey release notes for version 45.